Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
You talk first. I talk first.
Star Wars is here, baby. Oh, my goodness. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. You are here along with myself, your co-host, Mr. Stephen Boster, along with our co-host, Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good evening to all you geeks out there in Geeking Land. And I almost wanted to start singing Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars.
Hey, everybody, we could not wait. We could not wait till Saturday to talk about the latest and greatest episode of Book of Boba Fett, episode number 6.
I don't think this was Book of Boba Fett. I think this is Book of Luke Skywalker. Or maybe Grogu. I don't know.
Well, hold on. Spoiler alert, everybody.
No. All right.
If you have not seen it yet, we are going to talk spoilers on this episode. So, you know what? I better put up the caption real quick for everybody saying we're just gonna get in there and talk spoilers about the latest episode of Book of Boba Fett, which seems to be there it is. Spoiler alert.
We just jump right into the spoilers. I'm fine with that. I've been super excited to talk about this episode. I was ready to talk about it right after I watched it yesterday. So,
right.
If you would have been ready yesterday, I would have went.
Yeah, right. I have other things I do on Wednesday nights, but yes, very much excited. I'm a little on the slow uptake, so my internet's a little weird at the moment. So,
well, you know, normally we would have things going on Wednesday nights, but like with the Snowmageddon here, everything is pretty much shut down, and just it's like totally insane here. I've seen more snow here than, I don't know, probably the biggest snow I remember would have been the snow of 82. So that would have been before you had moved here. But yeah, that was like the biggest snow I ever remember in my lifetime in this area. And yeah, this has just been crazy. I've been off for work 2 days. So that sucks.
Nice.
But I did get
nice to have time off.
It's nice. It's just it wasn't the time I was expecting, you know.
Sure.
So it'll work out in the end.
Yep. Well, hey everybody, here's the dealioso. We are going to give our ratings like we always do at the beginning of the show, and then we have already given the spoiler warning because we've already given away one spoiler. But we're just going right into it because you cannot talk about this episode without talking spoilers. And
Angie just asked about what about 2004? Did we have a bad snowstorm in 2004, Angie? I don't remember.
I was in Kansas City at that time.
Yeah. I know. You'd already left me by then.
Yeah. Hi, Angie.
Hey, Angie, we talked about having you on. We're talking about having you on in the next Boba Fett episode, by the way.
Yes, but we got to talk scheduling, so we want to make sure we get you on. So,
and this was kind of a last-minute decision to go live tonight. So that's because we got a whole bunch of stuff on the docket for this weekend.
We do have a lot of stuff going on. Well, one of the things though is we have Star Wars Podcast Day that we are a part of with dozens and dozens and dozens of other podcasts. We're one of many that is hanging out and doing the Star Wars podcasts. And then we've got, our normal podcast for next week to get ready for. Well, we're doing that, and I'm pretty excited about that one as well. So Whoo! And then this one. So we were like, let's just go ahead and get in there, get her done.
And we had our crossover event, with Nerdery and Murdery.
Yes.
Part 1 was released yesterday.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Their audio of part 1 was released yesterday because Wednesdays is their normal release day.
Yep.
Our audio of part 2 will be released tomorrow on our normal release day.
In
And
just
of
about
course,
5 hours.
you can watch the video on our Facebook page right now. So
for part 1, the part
Right,
1 video
part one.
is up. Part 2 video will go up tomorrow night.
Correct.
Yep.
So
yeah, so we're excited. Boy, we got all kinds of things happening.
I know, man. We're
yeah.
busy.
We are. Who knew it would be this busy?
Yeah, especially at the beginning of the year. I wasn't really prepared to be this busy at the beginning of the year.
Right? A year into it. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so here's the dealioso, everybody. Mike, do you want to go first with your rating and then we just get into it? Or do you want me to go first?
What are we picking as a rating?
Oh, I'm trying to think of something that's not going to give anything away.
Well, we already said spoilers talk is happening, and I gave the spoiler alert. So
I don't know. You better pick, because if I pick, it's just this big giveaway, and I don't want to give away that just yet.
Oh, shoot, I don't know.
This is the fun part, everybody.
Okay,
where we get
I got it.
We should have people like chime in and tell us what they want, kind of a thing.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Any suggestions is what we should use for
our ratings. Are
I think
what
I might
out of 5 something or another?
Angie wants to know if she needs a drink. She might. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see as this goes. Okay, I got it. Since it was kind of revealed last episode anyway, how about 1 out of 5 chainmails. Mandalorian chainmails.
Okay, all right. Beskar, right?
Beskar.
All right. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
Oh yeah, it's simple. 5.
Right. 5. We give it 5.
I give it 5, man. Now I will say there are a couple things missing out of this episode that I would have liked to have happened. And I'll get to that a little bit later. If those 2 things would have happened, this would have been a total 500.
10 out of 5.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, here's I give it 5 as well. This is, if you really enjoy Star Wars and you're into the lore, you're into the story, you're into the mythos of Star Wars, this is your episode.
Oh, it's so good.
There is so much that is in this episode that branches out into what's going to happen within the rest of the Star Wars story.
Oh man, it connects to Return of the Jedi. It connects to Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
I think it connects to Last Jedi.
Yes, it does.
My gosh, so much that it connects
Clone
to.
Wars.
Yeah. Clone Wars, definitely.
And let's see, it also connects to Mandalorian, of course, but Mandalorian in another way. It connects to Ahsoka storyline, I bet. It also will connect to much more in the future. I bet you it connects to Kenobi. I bet you some of this connects to Kenobi. We just don't see it yet. What's happening here is we have a conjunction of spheres to, the great conjunction.
Well, it's connecting all of the Star Wars universe at this point.
Yes.
It is bringing so much of the Filoni Favreau verse into original Star Wars lore. And Star Wars lore to come, of course. So
now I like how you said that. So would you say that we are seeing the heir apparent to George Lucas, the heirs apparent to George Lucas, come into their own and really give it for the fans?
So, well, you gotta figure Filoni was handpicked by George Lucas to do the Clone Wars.
Mhm.
And Filoni learned a lot under George Lucas's tutelage. Now,
Mhm.
I believe that Filoni and Favreau are taking things their own way, but at the same time, I believe that they are giving proper respect to George Lucas's original vision of Star Wars.
Right
That's
on.
what I think. I think they're giving the proper respect, but at the same time, they are creating their own lore and moving forward.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it's a good one. Okay.
Oh my
How, gosh, where to begin? I don't want to just do a walkthrough of the episode. I mean, we could,
Well,
but I mean,
yeah, well,
anybody can walk
we
through.
start at the beginning.
All right. All right.
So Mando is going to see Grogu.
Right. Now, in all fairness, Mike, I have to give you kudos because last
Oh wait,
episode,
are you gonna say I'm right again?
yeah, yes,
I
yes,
love to hear that. You know that, right?
Mike, you were right. That almost needs to be a soundbite. Mike, you were right. We're
Oh
saying
no,
it.
no, no, no. I like to hear you say it live
So
because I did say last episode we are going to go see Luke Skywalker, and you said, "Nah, I don't think
no, we'll just
so."
save that for
No,
Mandalorian.
yeah, they'll save that for Mandalorian. Yeah, yeah. And who did we go see?
Right, right. Just for the record, I want to say I enjoyed your nasally interpretation of me.
Yeah, I almost gave it a I almost gave it a Mark Hamill there. Yeah,
Power converters.
I was gonna go into Tashi Station and pick up some power converters. We
All right, but
didn't have names for those guys. We called them butt face.
now, for the record, you were right. You were right. I did not think we were going to see Luke Skywalker, and lo and behold,
Oh
they
Lord,
did.
did you see what my wife said?
No, I don't have chat. My chat's not coming up on mine for some reason.
Okay, well, I just put it up. That's because I don't say it very often.
Brenda.
Oops.
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness, this
Anyway.
is funny. I will. Okay, so Mike, you were right. We get to see Luke. Go ahead, continue your thought. I don't want to.
Well, we get Mando traveling to. We don't know the planet yet.
That's true. We don't.
That's one thing I actually liked about Mandalorian was every time he went to a different planet, they told us what planet it was. Excuse me. With this, they're not telling us what planet we're on.
No.
So
Now,
I
I'm
mean,
okay with that. I don't need that detail. I want the story.
well, I do too. But I would like to know where we're at. That's
Yeah, that's your geeky side, wanting the details.
So anyway, so Mando goes to where Luke and Grogu are at,
Right.
and I loved it. When you seen that rock coming up over the hill, what was your first thought?
Oh, I thought it was like Grogu doing exactly what Luke was doing in training.
That's what I
With
thought
Yoda.
too. And then it turns out it's these ant droids.
Yep. I was like,
I thought they were fantastic, though. I loved them. I'm like, oh, I love these droids. They're so cool.
And they're building a, they're building a little shrine hut.
Right? They're building
temple.
they're building the Jedi Academy. I was so excited. I'm like,
yeah,
that's one of the buildings of the Jedi Academy. We're getting the freaking Jedi Academy.
Yep.
I was so excited. There's so many points in this show.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we see that, and then of course we see the sensor scope of R2. And as soon as we saw the sensor scope, I go, "It's R2! It's R2! R2's there!" So excited. And then I love it when Mando comes up to R2, and Mando says, "I'm here to see Luke Skywalker. I want to see Grogu. Can you take me to Luke?" And blah blah blah. and you hear R2. If you listen closely, R2 plays the same little whistle, this toot 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 toot, that he played in The Empire Strikes Back when when uh when he's like floating around in the water after he
I
fell
did
off the
not
X-Wing.
catch that. I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
catch that.
it's almost identical to that, and I loved
Huh.
that. It was so funny. Sorry.
Very cool. No, that's okay. No, I appreciate you looking at the chat stuff because I can't, for some reason, I don't have access to it, or it's not pulling up for me. So thanks for doing that.
Brenda said,
Um,
show. He said where
where
R2
R2
is Luke
Luke
is.
is.
Oh, yeah, I
Mhm,
did. Yeah.
mhm,
I said where
mhm.
R2 is, Luke is. Yep, exactly.
Wherefore art there, R2?
So
I'm with
yeah, we
Luke.
got that. Oh, and there were so many incredible music cues in this. I mean,
Oh, the music. Yeah, it was almost remember how you were talking about themes?
Yeah.
We were talking about this with the Nerdery Murdery guys, and you briefly mentioned about themes, music themes, and we don't get that anymore.
right.
We got a bunch of music
I
themes.
so cannot
Mhm.
wait for part 2 of Book of Boba Fett soundtrack to be released on iTunes.
Yeah.
Part 1
Mhm.
is out. I have it. But I
Okay.
can't wait for part 2 because I am just gonna listen
They
back.
don't want to spoil
Oh,
anything.
oh yeah. No, I'm not complaining. I'm not. Now, there is a story behind that. There is a story behind that because they screwed up years ago with episode 1
Yep.
because they released the soundtrack to episode 1 before the film was released, and one of the titles of the tracks was Qui-Gon's Noble Death.
Death,
And
right?
everyone flipped out because they're like, "Wait a minute, you just told us Qui-Gon's gonna die in the movie." So no, I completely get it. Oh yeah, Qui-Gon's Noble End. Thank you. Yeah, Brian
Noble
just
end.
corrected me.
Yes.
But anyway, so yeah, I totally get it that they're waiting. I have no problem with that. I'm just saying I can't wait for that. I just can't
Mhm.
because I am gonna listen back to that so many damn times. Sorry, that slipped out.
Oh gosh. Well, here's the thing. I enjoy where we're getting to see the temple being built, which was great. I love the whole aspect of the little ant droids. I'm like, oh my
They're
goodness, how
so
many of them
cool.
are there? They were. That was neat. Now, here's the thing. We still haven't gotten to, well, they build Din Djarin
A
the
bench. and he goes, "How long do I gotta wait?"
right?
And then he takes a nap. He lays down on it. But what I love is he shows his true colors because he's aware of his surroundings. Because as soon as Ahsoka walks up, boom, he's drawn his gun.
Turned. I was surprised. I did not expect to see Ahsoka. Did not
Oh.
expect to see her, and I
Oh,
thought
come
that was
on.
very exciting.
We're going to see Luke. You really didn't think we were going to see Ahsoka again?
No, I haven't. We've never seen the two of them together.
Not the two of them together, but I mean, I think it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. Look, I was so happy that Ahsoka and Luke met.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Totally,
like Brian
totally
said.
agree.
So many cameos in this episode too. Oh, you ain't kidding. Oh my
that's
gosh.
right. Hi, Brian.
The cameos were, yeah. And we'll
Yeah.
save the best cameo for last, but
I don't know if I can wait that long. Oh.
but yeah, so Ahsoka comes to Din Djarin and he's like I want to see Grogu. And she knew that's why he came. And she's like well, Grogu's fine. he's doing fine. He's all right. In fact, this is the safest place he could possibly be. And Din Djarin's not he's not good with that. No. Right. I want to see my little buddy. Right. I want to see my boy. That's pretty much what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I enjoyed the whole thing, the issue about attachment. it was about the attachment that he had. She said, "Hey, realize that your guys' the bond between you is really strong."
Right.
And he's in training where he can't have attachments. He's becoming a Jedi. He can't have attachments and stuff. And you being here, or if he meets you, that will make it that much harder for
Right.
him. Not much more betterer, much more
Okay.
harder.
Now, I have a question for you about that. So,
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine. I was talking to him earlier today about the whole attachments thing,
Uh-huh.
and he was like, "No, wait a minute. Why is Luke returning to the old ways of the Jedi and embracing this whole no attachments thing?" And my theory is, excuse me, we're looking at Luke Skywalker post Return of the Jedi, because
Well,
obviously
yes.
Luke has had attachments.
Right.
Now, if we were going into Legends territory, I would have to agree with that statement and go, yeah, why is he going there? Because if we were going into Legends territory, we'd be looking at Mara Jade and her relationship, his relationship to Mara Jade, and
Mhm.
the fact that they end up having Ben Skywalker
Now,
instead of
wait. Do
Ben
you think,
Solo.
though, this is taking place in between, I dare say it, Return of the Jedi
Mhm.
and the Thrawn trilogy?
Well, I think it's
Or we
taking
haven't met Mara Jade yet.
right. Well, I don't know if we're gonna meet Mara Jade. I
Oh man, that would
I
be
have
so
no idea.
awesome.
I
Wasn't
mean,
there a rumor we were gonna get Mara Jade?
there's been rumors. Yes, there has been rumors, and I think it's still open that we could. You can go back and
Right.
listen to our Mara Jade episode. That was what, our second episode, I think.
That was our first
Because
episode.
I have a whole
Mara Jade
theory.
was our first episode.
Was it okay? Because
Yep.
I have a complete theory of how bringing Mara Jade in could fix the
Right.
sequels, or fix a lot of the problems of the sequels. Anyway,
They're gonna meet at a cantina, and she's gonna walk up to him and says, "Hey, are you happy to see me, or is that a lightsaber in your pocket?"
yeah, okay. I just, at this point, I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I just don't know. Partially because of what happens in this episode. I don't know if that is going to happen. And the fact that Luke is embracing the idea of the no attachments thing.
Mhm.
With
Mhm.
him embracing that thinking, that line of Jedi thinking, I just don't know if they
Mhm.
will go down the road of Mara Jade, or maybe
Mm.
they take her in a complete different direction. But
Mhm.
if they take her in a different direction, her fans gonna be happy with that, you know?
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and
Well,
find
it's a great story element. The
out.
whole no attachment things is a great tension element within the storytelling. So that could be the case and all. Mara Jade, Mara Jade. Hashtag bring me Mara Jade.
Look, I want Mara Jade. I mean,
Right?
she is actually one of my all-time favorite Star Wars characters.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would be thrilled. I just don't know if they're gonna go that route. Anyway.
Well, here's the dealio. So I will say that what we've seen, what we got out of Luke Skywalker this episode was much more than I thought we would ever get.
Oh my gosh.
Interaction, discussion, talk, movement.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what I want? I want a whole Luke Skywalker series.
oh, would that be the best? Master Luke Skywalker, Jedi
Mhm.
Master Luke Skywalker. Because the one thing I wanted to see, and we've had this discussion before, the one thing I wanted to see out of Last Jedi was a kick butt Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. And in my opinion, we didn't get that. And so, man, if we had a whole series, that would be splendorific.
Oh, you ain't kidding, man. I would so love that.
It would be
But yeah,
fabulous.
we got so many elements of Luke that I loved. Just him teaching. I loved him embracing Yoda's philosophies, him using some of Yoda's sayings. It
Yep.
was great.
Uh-huh.
Do or do not. There is no try. He worded it differently than
He
Yoda, but
did, but it was that phrase. It
yeah,
was, don't try, do, or something
right.
like that. Do it.
And here we go. Angie says, "Can we talk about the backpack?" I love the backpack, and okay, Angie, get your drink ready. So that there is a George Lucas, it rhymes moment. It's like poetry. It rhymes because we had a parallel to him training in Empire Strikes Back, with him having Yoda on his back, and then he had Grogu on his back, and he did a lot of the same things too. You know, he did all the running and the flipping, and gosh, I love that sequence. It was so awesome. Oh yeah, and I did love this too. So my wife had to add in, I love the frogs.
Love the frogs.
So yeah, before we even get to that moment, we have Master Skywalker meditating with Grogu, and then all of a sudden Grogu's like, I'm hungry.
Gets distracted. Yeah. There's a frog.
There's a frog. I like frogs. I'm gonna eat me a frog.
I'm gonna grab him by the force.
Right. And you see the little one-eyed frog come flying at Grogu, and he's just about to grab it, and Luke looks at him and says, "Grogu," which I knew would happen.
Right.
But then we got that moment that I wasn't expecting, and Luke like force lifts all the frogs. And Grogu's face is like, wow, can I do that?
Right.
I so loved that. It was so funny. So yeah, that was great.
How'd you like the part where they're walking side by side and Luke moves him by the force like he's a jumping frog?
Well, when Luke goes, "Let's take a walk," I immediately looked at my wife and I says, "Yeah, Grogu's looking at him going, yeah, but you walk a lot faster than I do. You got longer legs." But he did the little hopping thing. I loved it. That was so cool. That was really cool. Oh, here we got to put up another.
Okay.
So, Angie. Oh. Yeah, Angie said she kept singing the Yoda song.
The Yoda song. Yoda.
That's awesome.
I haven't listened to that song in ages.
I love Weird Al. So, I love that, and I loved it when he pulls out the training ball, which is the same training ball that he used in A New Hope, and I love the fact that Grogu first wants to play with it like a ball. I mean, I could just see the little wheels in his head turning, going, "Oh wow, this is bigger than the little thing in Mando's ship."
Right,
this is bigger than that ball, and he pushes it, and Luke's like, "No, that's not the way it works. Here, let me show you." And then he activates it, and Grogu's just watching it float, and then all of a sudden it shoots Grogu, and he's like, "Whoa!"
Right. Now here's the thing that I struggled with, but I think the story did a great job of addressing it. It was Grogu's like 50, 70 years old or something. How does he not know some of this stuff? Or why is he still, so young?
He's blacked out.
Yes. And that was my point. I think this episode really brought out something that either trauma or something, or we don't know yet.
Well, Ahsoka told us that. Ahsoka told us that when she first met Grogu. She said that he has blocked out memories.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So we knew that. And then, of course, now we get Luke does the Jedi mind meld to take us back to Star Trek.
The streams. We ain't crossing the Star Trek.
I'm sorry, but that's what it was. Come on. It was the Vulcan mind meld. Come on. But then that's when we get the moment of Revenge of the Sith and Order 66. As soon as that happened, I was freaking out. I'm like, it's Order 66. Oh my gosh, it's Order 66.
Yeah. Now, did you recognize that it was like the whole Republic Commando?
Yep.
helmets, and that was Luke's. What? Or not Luke's. I'm sorry. Wasn't
Anakin,
that Anakin's personal?
the 501st.
Okay.
It was the 501st. They're also known as Vader's Fist. So
Okay.
yes, that was the 501st doing their worst.
And so I would assume that was taking place at the temple, the Jedi temple.
Yes. Yep. So
Okay.
Grogu was at the temple when Anakin struck.
Yep. All right. Okay. All right.
So
okay. I wondered. I was hoping to ask you that. Okay.
So here's the big question. Well, first of all, did you also notice that in that memory, it looked exactly the same as when Anakin had his memory flashbacks of his mother and of Padme dying, and
the same style.
Yeah,
the same style
exactly the same. It looked exactly identical. So I thought that was really cool. I like that. But now here's the question.
Okay.
Was Grogu saved by somebody in the temple? Was he saved by a Jedi? And if he was, who was he saved by?
Mm-hmm.
Or was Grogu taken by the 501st and has been held by the Empire ever since then?
It will be interesting to see. I don't think the way it ends, that image or that vision ends, or the memory vision ends, is that it looks like they see Grogu and they start running after him, running towards him.
Right, they're running towards them.
So that leads me to think that somebody saves him.
Okay,
that
so
leads
the
me
next
to think
question
that.
is, who saves Grogu?
I don't think it was Yoda, and I don't think it was Kenobi.
Right, I don't think either one of them saved him.
No,
I don't
because we don't see that in Return of the Jedi. We see them, check the hologram thing, much suffering you will see, or much pain,
I honestly, I don't believe they even think that he survived. They obviously knew that he existed, but Brian said R2 saved him. Well, R2 knows everything in the Star Wars universe, so
he sure does.
If anyone's gonna save him, yeah, maybe it's R2.
That's a good one. I love it. Thank you, Brian.
That was a great comment. I love that. Awesome.
Oh my gosh, that was good.
So Angie says that she thinks it was just a minor character. You might be right. You may be right on that. I just have a tendency to believe that these bigger events that they're throwing in there, they tend to end up being somebody important. So I don't know. We'll see.
It'll be interesting.
There's a theory out there that Mace Windu saved him. There's always a theory about Mace Windu.
No ways, you're right. That would be interesting.
Brenda said C-3PO, he had to get a mind erase.
He did get a mind erase.
C-3PO had to get his mind erased because he had to get a mind wipe because he won't shut his mouth. R2 doesn't talk.
The whole Vegas line popped. What happens with R2 stays with R2.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
That's another T-shirt. That's another T-shirt we need to put on there. Oh god.
So that's a mystery that they're going to have to resolve at some point, is who actually saved Grogu. Because I want to know that detail. I really really want to know that detail.
Sure.
So anyway, moving forward.
Are we really? We're just hopping all over the place. No, in all fairness, we are sticking with the Luke Skywalker Grogu aspect of the episode at the moment.
So then let's get into what Angie asked us to talk about a little bit ago, but I kind of skipped over a comment.
Yeah, what's that?
So we get the moment now with Luke and Ahsoka, and Ahsoka even makes the comment. She says, Luke says, she says that Grogu's coming along really well. His training, you're doing really good with his training. And Luke comments, I think he's remembering more than he's learning.
Oh,
And
right.
and then Luke is showing some self-doubt, can I really
Mhm.
train this guy or, this creature?
Mhm.
And she's like, sometimes the master learns from the apprentice.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think we're seeing a little bit of Anakin's and Ahsoka's relationship there,
Mhm.
because there
Mhm.
were times when Anakin learned from Ahsoka,
Mhm. What
and
was it? Sky Guy and Snips?
oh gosh, don't bring that up. I hate that. And thank God she didn't call R2 R2-y. I would have threw up. I hate those. I was so glad they dropped those terms. Oh, jeez. Let's
Right.
not even
You're right.
talk about that.
Okay,
That's
sorry.
that's like the Batmans that we don't talk of. Those are the Star Wars phrase we don't speak of.
Upcoming episode, everybody. The Batmans we don't talk about.
So yeah, so then we get that moment where she looks at Luke and she says, you remind me of your father. And I
Mhm.
love that moment.
Mhm.
I mean, okay, if there was any moment in the episode where I was tearing up, that was it. It was like, oh my
Oh,
gosh,
nice.
this is so good. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Right.
But I want another moment with them. I want her telling Luke about his father and his mother. I want her telling the stories of Anakin as a hero, Anakin as the general,
Mhm.
him, I want him to learn those stories. And
Right.
and I want her to tell him about her mother and how she was such a great leader and she was a hero in her own right, you know.
Mhm.
And then
Mhm.
I want that moment of Luke explaining to Ahsoka, Anakin redeemed himself. Because
Mhm. Mhm.
Ahsoka needs that closure as much as Luke needs to learn about his parents.
Mm.
Those are the
Mhm.
moments I want. So
I like that. I like that. Where's there's that exchange and
yes.
of storylines and longings of understanding where what happened. He gets Luke gets insight from Ahsoka on his parents.
Yes.
She gets closure of the redemption that finally happened there at the end.
Right.
That last,
Right.
you, you know, um,
So we need another Luke Skywalker Ahsoka moment.
okay,
If
I
for
like that.
nothing else, just for that.
I like
Um
that.
Here, Angie said something else.
Hmm.
Where's the comment? Oh, here we go. Yes, I'm curious if he knows about Ezra too. So
Ooh,
if you
Ezra
remember,
Bridger, not
right,
Ezra Miller. That's the Flash.
that's the
Ezra
Flash,
Bridger.
right? Ezra Bridger. If you remember in Mandalorian when Ahsoka fights, I don't remember that one woman who she was, but Ahsoka has
Hmm.
that battle with her, and
Hmm.
she starts saying, where is your boss? Where is Thrawn?
Yeah.
So right. So we know anyone who watched Rebels knows that Rebels ended with Ezra and Thrawn being taken away by the weird space whale thing. I still don't
Hmm.
get that, but whatever.
Right.
So if Ahsoka's looking for Thrawn, she's looking for Thrawn because she's trying to get to Ezra. She's trying to find
Hmm.
Ezra. So
Yeah.
yeah, does she tell Luke about Ezra?
She just needs to pull a Dory with the space whales. Where is Ezra?
I speak whale. Who knew?
Sorry, I couldn't resist that. I probably
That's
scared people
great.
who were watching the podcast.
I didn't even think of that. That's a good one. I like that. I like that. That's great. So, but yeah. Um.
We
Oh.
just went downhill, everybody.
Oh. Uh. I hate to use the term, but we do need to circle back.
Yeah.
um. We do need to go back to the beginning of the episode because I did
Well, I
forget.
figured that would all be part of us moving to
Okay. Moving
that
into
character.
yeah. So
Mhm.
okay. I gotta so talk about that. Yeah. Take another drink.
Yeah.
So I so have to talk about this. So at the beginning of the episode, we go back to Cobb Vanth.
Yes, I really enjoy his character, and the actor is great.
He was great. He was great. I loved it. And I loved the whole Western aspect of I loved how this episode we got space Western and we got space martial arts, it's so Star Wars. So freaking
Star Wars. Yep.
But yeah,
Yep.
so
and just for the record, I'm just going to say this now. This is my favorite Star Wars episodic show so far. This episode is my favorite of everything. Of all the Star Wars stuff that's out so far, this episode is my favorite.
The only thing that comes close is Luke Skywalker at the end of season 2. And then of course the reveal of Boba Fett taking over Jabba's throne. Those are the only thing that even come close to this.
Yeah, I would agree. Yes.
And then I would also say introducing Ahsoka into live action too. That's another close one to this too. But yes, I totally agree with you. This has been my favorite so far.
Yeah. All right. So Cobb Vanth, I love the character. I was so glad to see him come back.
Well, and I loved how he goes up against the Pikes and he takes out three out of the 4 of them. Just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. So at the beginning, we see a deal going down. We see we see a spice drug deal going down, and there's Vance, who's like,
not in my town,
not my town. There's all these other places you can go, but not here. And he's like, not you to think that through, kind of a thing. You think about that, and it shows how fast he is.
Yeah,
I love that. He's a fast gunslinger.
He's not quite fast enough.
We're going to talk about that. Yeah. I think we'll talk about that in a minute.
All right, I won't get to
that. But there is room for discussion about that because I don't want to spoil that yet.
Okay, all right, no, that's fine.
That. Now I was surprised that he tells the last Pike standing, oh, you're the smart one. Doesn't draw. He goes, take the money, leave the box, take the money. You made your deal. Kind of a thing. And so he does, it opens up and we get to see our first bit of spice. I think that first time we get to see, here's spice.
I think you're right. Because they talked about spice. They've talked about spice in many episodes.
Talked about it being a spice runner,
right.
The Kessel
Hans
Run.
talked about running spice through the Kessel Run.
Right.
They talked about spice in the Solo film. But I think you're right. I think this is the first time we've actually seen spice.
We see it, and I love it how the Pike representative says, that's cost more than your whole town, and then he knocks it over and lets the wind take it.
So Brian said spice was also on the train in episode 2. Yes, it was, but I don't know if I don't remember seeing it. It's been a while since I've watched.
Oh, we did. He's right, Brian. You're right, because they knocked it over and it all fell over. Because there's okay. What are you talking about? Cool. Kind of thing. Yeah, but I guess this is but we got to see it up close, or they zoomed in on it, and then you got to see it blow away in the wind. And I was like, kind of a thing.
And that spice was worth a lot of money because, like the one Pike said, this spice is worth more than your whole town is worth.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that was good. So then we pop back and we see the Mandalorian come to camp.
I love it. Mando lands the Naboo space starfighter.
Now, do we need to pause here and say that the reason he's there is because Mando had left the little chainmail for Grogu, and then went back and landed there at.
Oh, we do need to talk about that also. The
chainmail. So, we'll come back to that because that's an ending discussion, end of the story discussion. Because that's kind of where it ends. But he goes there, and then they're talking about. They being Boba Fett, Fennec Shan, the little biker gang. I can't remember all of a sudden what they called them.
The mods.
The mods. That's right. The mods were there. We get to see Black Chrysanthemum. I was like, oh, the whole gang's there. Kind of thing. And they talk about how all the Pikes they're building an army.
Right. Right.
And we need more people. And then, there's Mando says, I think I can help with that. So, and so then he goes to see Cobb and land. So go ahead, keep going there.
So, so then of course we get, we get the moment I love with him walking up to the deputy.
Right.
Wow. I just had, I shot the sheriff, but I did not shoot the deputy. Anyway. I don't know, it just popped in my head.
This is what happens when you get older, everybody. Things just pop in your head.
This penguin's climbing back up on the iceberg.
Penguin jumped back on.
Brian said, the band's almost back together. Nice. So, yeah, and the deputy's like, you can't park there. And Mando's like,
right.
Yeah, you know what? I really don't care what you have to say.
Right.
Let me talk to Sheriff Vance,
Yep.
But you can't park there. Yeah, I'm not listening to you, dude.
Yep.
And then the sheriff comes up and he's like, yeah, go away.
I got this. He goes,
I got this. I love it. And then Mando's like, let me buy you a drink. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, now we're at the point where Mando can't drink a beer because he can't take his helmet off, man.
Right.
We're back to that crap again.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how that continues, how that fleshes out.
Boba can have a beer with him,
Mm-hmm.
but Mando
could Bo-Katan.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and so we also get the moment with the Jawas, and the Jawas have the skull of the crate dragon on top of the sandcrawler, and they're all waving at Mando. Hey, it's Mando! Yay!
How did they know he had a Naboo starfighter?
They saw him. They could see him.
Yeah, they can see him.
They got good eyes, man. Those eyes. Look how bright
baby eyes.
But when they went in the bar, did you notice the bar has the rib cage of the crate dragon?
I did not see that. I'll watch it again.
Freaking cool, man. Yeah, it's the rib cage of the crate dragon inside the bar. And I just love the look of it. It's fantastic. Great there. So yeah, then we had that moment of Mando's asking Cop Vance to help
supply men, people,
Right.
And I love how the bartender's like, that's not our fight, kind of a thing and stuff.
Here, Brian had another good comment here.
Oh yeah.
Mando asked Vance how he's been since he lost the armor, and Vance says, more cautious. Yeah, that's great. And Brian, I love the fact that, Cobb Vance says, hey, where's the little guy? And he's like, he's with his folk.
With his
and
kind.
He goes, well, looks like we both lost something that was important to us.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great line.
Yep.
Love that. Yep. So anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just said I liked how the bartender was like, we don't need it. We don't need,
right. Oh, I love the bartender. I love him. He's great. Oh, and they changed the name to Freetown.
Right. They changed the name to Freetown. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. Fantastic. That whole bar scene was great. I loved it.
It was good. It was good interaction. But then he's Mando leaves, and then he's like, hey, go ahead and rustle up the town people. I got to tell them what's going on. Anyone who's of fighting age. And so I thought that was good. I was like, okay, he knows what's at stake.
Then the moment.
Yep.
I have been waiting for years. Right. Yeah, that's all we needed. All we needed is the Clint Eastwood theme right there. That would have been so perfect.
Yeah.
But when we see that image coming up in the horizon.
Now here's the thing. I loved how the wind came through. You remember? And Cobb kind of leaned into the wind and took a look.
And then we get like the wind chimes going. I mean, it had such a Western feel to it. Oh,
what was the name of this episode? A Stranger Comes to Town or something?
A Stranger in the Desert? Stranger. They should have called it A Stranger in a Strange Land is what they should have called it. That would have been perfect because it would have tied in with
Right.
Iron Maiden, and yeah, that's what they should have
Right.
called. But anyway, and to me, well, hold on. So we get that image and coming up from the horizon, and
Now,
I'm sitting
tell me your
going,
thoughts. Tell me your thoughts when you saw that.
when I saw that, I went, wait a minute, who's that? Is it? Is it?
I was
And
doing the same thing. I was like,
And I screamed, "It's Cad freaking Bane!" Oh, Brian's got it. From the desert, a stranger comes. That
Comes a
was the
stranger.
title.
Comes a stranger. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian.
Yep,
Thank you
thanks,
so
Brian.
much.
He's always there to save me. And my wife did say he screamed. Look, I have been waiting for live action Cad Bane since Cad
Yep.
Bane was introduced in the Clone Wars.
Yep.
Next to Boba Fett, Cad Bane is absolutely my favorite bounty hunter. I've always loved him. And oh my gosh, when he come walking up, I was just like, it's happening. It's
right.
happening. I can't believe
we
it's
got
freaking happening.
we got Luke Skywalker, we got Ahsoka, we got Grogu, we got Mando, and now we're getting Cobb Vanth, and now
a showdown.
What?
Showdown in the Wild West. I mean, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, it couldn't be more perfect.
Yep.
So yeah. Now, all right. So we're at the Gunslinger Showdown, and you had some comments about that. So I'm eager to find out what you were going to say.
Well, first off, my only wish, I don't want to say gripe, because I was so excited to see Cad Bane, was I was like,
Me too.
his brim, I think, should be a little longer.
Somebody else said that too. And actually I think Matt Hempel sent me a message saying his hat needs to be bigger. In some of the episodes his hat was a little bit smaller. And and somebody else pointed out, because there's also been some complaints, well, he doesn't look quite right, and he doesn't look exactly like he does in the cartoon. And it's like, well, first of all, nobody looks like they look in the cartoon.
Right.
Go look
That's
at
a good
Count
call.
Dooku. Go look at Count Dooku. The cartoon
That's
version
true.
of Count Dooku looks
That's true.
nothing
Yep.
like right. So
Mhm.
the live action Cad Bane is not going to look exactly like the cartoon
The
version.
cartoon.
And
Yep.
the cartoon is supposed to be exaggerated.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I'm fine with
Well,
it.
I tell you what wasn't exaggerated were his teeth.
I know.
Dude, I was like,
They were pointing.
that's
Just like,
him.
now he was missing one thing.
What was that?
This is one of the two things that would have set this episode even higher.
Okay.
He needed the toothpick. Cad Bane almost always
You got me.
he almost always had a toothpick.
He did not have the toothpick.
Yeah, he didn't have the toothpick, and I was disappointed. I'm like, he needs the toothpick. Where's the toothpick?
Right.
It's so Cad Bane,
Right.
So that was one of the two things that I think would have set this way over the top. But I know people are going, you're really geeking out over that. Yes, I am. He's one of my favorites. So
Look, Luke Skywalker has a lightsaber. Cad Bane has his toothpick.
that's right. That's right. Look, it's just as important as his blasters. It's part of his character.
It is.
It's almost like Clint Eastwood with the cigar.
It's the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
And if you have not seen the Man with No Name trilogy,
I actually have never watched that.
So everyone thinks it's like a trilogy. Like today, when we talk trilogies, it's like a sequence. Don't go into watching the Man with No Name trilogy thinking that, because you have the Man with
Here,
No
I have
Name.
to put this up too. This is for my wife.
Oh, dealing with you. Welcome to my world, folks. That's funny. Thank you, Brenda.
And Brian says, go watch it now. As far as you're talking about
you are going to see the inspiration for much of what you saw in this episode.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna have to tell you, I felt like there was a connection between, what was the actor's name? He played a bad guy. He was in 2 of the movies, but he was killed in one, and then he came back and was killed in another one. So that's why I say it's not the same. It's the same characters, but some of them are not the same, and they repeat.
Sure. I mean, it's inspirations. It's not supposed to be a direct.
Well, no, I'm just talking about in the Man with No Name trilogy. I can't remember the actor's name, but he definitely, in my opinion, is the inspiration for Cad Bane.
Yeah, probably.
And I wish I could think of his name. Hey,
Although
it's gonna kill me what his name is.
Still in my head, Cad Bane so much reminds me of the cyborg version of Iron Maiden's Eddie. He just looks so much like Eddie. So.
Oh, you showed me that. You showed me the bust. With him. Mm-hmm.
And that bust is from the single "Stranger in a Strange Land" off of Iron Maiden's. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of the? Gosh, I can't think of the title. Oh,
yep. So just for the record, the Man with No Name trilogy. That's the Fistful of Dollars, A Few Dollars More, and The Good and the Bad and the Ugly. And hang on a second, I'm trying to. I've got to find out that actor's name because it's going to drive me crazy if I don't. Lee Van Cleef. Lee Van Cleef. That's the guy. So, Lee Van Cleef is the actor who I believe his character in those
Somewhere in Time. That's the album. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. So Lee Van Cleef is the guy who I think inspires Cad Bane.
Oh, and Brian did just say that too.
Oh, did he?
Brian with the save again.
Brian, you beat me, man. That's great. Yeah. And
that's a good comment too. This is also from Brian. Not only this episode, Stephen, but much of the Mandalorian series draws a lot from the Eastwood westerns. Even though I really haven't watched any of, I hate to say that because I do like Clint Eastwood. I think he's a fantastic actor, by the way. But I was growing up, I wasn't into westerns, but I appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and from what I know of them,
I grew up watching westerns because my dad would use movies to teach me like different life lessons, and so he would sit me down and we watch a movie and stuff, and he loved westerns, and so I fell in love with westerns. I mean, we're talking the Magnificent Seven. We're all these different ones. One of the biggest things he taught me, he says, "Now, Stephen, what does this teach you?" I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, "Never play another man's game unless they think they're actually playing your game." I mean, just how to out, smart. And my dad loved play chess and taught my brother chess and stuff like that. So, it just, I love westerns and space westerns. I'm there. I mean, we had that discussion with the Nerdy and Murdery guys because we were talking about Firefly and Serenity, which is just my favorite space western. But I tell you what, this whole Mandalorian and Boba Fett part of Star Wars is more space westerny than anything else.
So Brian also said, "I'm finding that as I get older, I like westerns more and more. It's an old guy thing." I love it.
Love it.
And yes, Brian, if you like Firefly, make sure and check out our Nerdery and Murdery crossover podcast.
Right. Yeah.
Theirs was released
yesterday.
Part 1 was released yesterday on their podcast, and part 2 will be released on ours tomorrow. So
yeah,
check those out. Definitely check those out.
First half is nerdery. Second half is murdery. We do a murder mystery that is not for kids, by the way, but it really intriguing. Is that like Never Messing with Sicilian when death is on the line? Why, yes, I have my iocane poisoning right here.
That was my daughter, by the way.
Oh, great Princess Bride reference.
She loves the Princess Bride. So do I.
Yeah.
Our whole family does. Right.
Hello, you killed my father. Prepare to die. Oh, I forgot his name. Hello, my name is Anuga Montoya. You
My
killed
name
my
is
father.
Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Stop saying that.
that.
The Man with Six Fingers. I love
Yep.
that movie.
Okay, so getting back to space westerns, and here's my point. You made a comment saying that Cobb Vanth was not fast enough.
Right.
I do think he was fast enough. He was distracted. He was distracted by his deputy because he was looking at his deputy. In that split second, I think he could have taken him out.
Deputy saved his butt.
No,
Nobody. Nobody. I'm going to say it again.
No.
Nobody is a faster draw than Cad Bane.
Nope.
Nope.
I think he could have taken him. I think
This
he
is
could have
Cad
taken him.
freaking Bane.
I know, but
Nobody.
your love for
Nope.
Cad Bane
Nope.
is causing you to miss the whole thing with Cobb because I
Nope.
think he could have taken him. Yeah.
Nope.
Now, here's the other part. Well, whatever. You do your head
kid
canon.
saved
I'll do
his
my head
butt.
canon on this.
The kid saved his butt because Cad Bane concentrated more on killing him than he did killing Cobb Vanth. That's
Right, because Cobb's still alive. He got him in the shoulder.
And he wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been had the deputy not stepped in. Yep.
That he had to go fast to knock one out. Let me just knock one out, but I got to take care of him because he's more of a threat at the moment.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, whatever.
Nobody is a faster. You just said that Cad Bane is modeled after Clint Eastwood.
No.
Nobody outdraws Clint Eastwood.
He's modeled after Lee Van Cleef, I think. That's my opinion. Is Lee Van Cleef's character.
Whatever.
So you do your hand canon. I'll do my head canon.
All I got to say is go back and watch the Clone Wars. Nobody is a faster draw than Cad Bane.
I'm telling you,
you're not going to convince me any other way.
That's okay. I don't have to convince you because you got your head canon and I got mine.
Right. And Cad Bane didn't get shot. So, and Cobb Vanth did. And the deputy is dead.
Yeah, boy, he really did the deputy in, didn't he?
Yeah, it's I shot the sheriff and I killed that little freaking deputy. I like that comment too.
Right, which one?
Brian said there's always a bigger fish.
That's right, by golly. Always is.
Yep, that's what Qui-Gon says.
That was episode 1. That was Qui-Gon. Ooh, good deep cut right there, Brian. Good
lines too. Yeah, I love that.
Say that last part again.
I said that's one of my favorite Star Wars lines. There's always a bigger fish.
There's always a bigger fish. Always. Oh, okay. So,
but Cobb Vanth is not the bigger fish than Cad Bane. Sorry.
All right, we're moving on.
Big goober fish.
But I will say this. Here's the dealioso. We got to see Cad Bane, and then Cad Bane turns around. Well, he tells the town, look, as long as the spice keeps running, you'll be left alone.
I don't think he's talking to town. I think he's talking to Cobb Vanth because Cobb Vanth is not dead.
He's and he knows it.
And if you watch it with the subtitles on, you will see that they said something about getting some kind of medical thing or something.
Oh, okay.
So I know Cobb Vanth is not dead, and I know that Cad Bane was addressing him because he's the leader of the town. And so it could be that Cad actually didn't want to kill Cobb Vanth.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been more Cad Bane was, I'm going to make a point, and I need you alive because you're the leader of this town, and they will listen to you. And he knows that. So it could be planned. That could have been, the whole thing could have been planned. Now, I don't necessarily think killing the deputy was planned. That was just, something like, I got to take this.
You want to do this, boy?
Yeah. You're going up against the wrong guy.
Right. Yeah. And here's the other thing is there seemed to be a focus on the bartender coming out. You saw the bartender was watching. And remember how adamant the bartender was. No, you just, you don't bring your problems to us. We're going to be fine. I think we're going to see a switch.
For city folk.
Yeah. I think we're going to see the bartender be a big supporter of saying, no, we need to get people together and rally around and stuff. That's what I think.
You think he's going to come around to it?
Yep. Because of what that event, that little high noon event right there. Yes.
Right. And I think that's, I think that's all by design. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
So
then, okay.
So then we go back. We go back to Luke and Grogu.
Yep, and they're they've built the ants, the robot ants have finished building one of the temple pieces, when they're inside. Yes. They're in their dojo. They're in their Jedi dojo.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. I like that. Yes, perfect. That's perfect. They're in their dojo. And I so want to see Luke, doing his moves in the dojo too. Man, that'll be so much like Cobra Kai. Are we getting Cobra Kai in Star Wars?
Right.
Well, now I did feel that we did get Cobra Kai and Karate Kid when Grogu was standing on when he was balancing on the bamboo stick, because it felt so much like Daniel and the crane.
Right, doing the crane thing in the first Karate Kid movie. Now, can we pause for a minute?
Okay.
There's an event that I have to get your opinion on that we did not talk about with the Pikes. The Pikes go into the bar with the thing.
Oh yeah,
and they blow up the bar.
Well, yeah, I was going to get to that. With they bring the Campino. Brian, save me on this one. I don't know what they call that thing.
They bring an ice cream bucket.
Right, they bring the ice cream maker. Which, if anyone does not know the joke behind that, so in Empire Strikes Back, in Cloud City, when Lando announces that Camtano, Brian just said it. Camtono. There we go. Got it. Camtono. Thank you, Brian. He's always there with the save for me. Anyway, if you do not know the story behind the Camtono or the ice cream maker, because it looks like an ice cream maker. So in Empire Strikes Back in Cloud City, when Lando announces that the Empire has taken over the city, everybody, get to safety, get out, whatever. You see this guy running down the hall with what looks like an ice cream maker. And it has become such a big thing. Fans rallied to get a action figure made of him years ago. They do at certain conventions. They have the running of the Camtino or ice cream maker, and they have all these people cosplaying as that guy. It is so funny. Oh, that's great. Yeah. Brian says his character's name is Wilro Hood. That's right. Yeah, I forgot what his name was. Excellent deep cut.
Dude, Brian, you are bringing it tonight.
Oh, God, he is out nerding me at every move. And then he said Hood because it's after Hood ice cream. Now that I didn't know. Interesting. So anyway, then when we got Mandalorian, that thing was introduced again, and it was how they delivered the Beskar and how they delivered money, so on and so forth.
They made it a thing, and we see it a lot in this in the Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
So, do you think? Well, I'm so glad that Max Rebo was not in there. We Max Rebo. I got a soft spot for Max Rebo.
Apparently, Max had the night off. Which
maybe he knew. Maybe he was forewarned.
Max has to be the luckiest character in all Star Wars history because he apparently had the day off when Jabba was out on his on
the sail barge.
Yeah, on the sail barge when that got blown up because he wasn't there, but the band was there, so they got destroyed. Now, what bothers me though is the leader of the Cantina band, Dan, what is his name? Dan Figuerin, and I'm sure Brian will be able to save me on that one too. The name of the Cantina band. So yeah, that guy, he was there, so he got blown up. That sucks, man.
Right.
That sucks.
Even Jennifer Bill's character.
Dan, that's it. Yeah.
What is it?
Figuring Dan.
Oh, okay.
That's that character's name.
I would say that Jennifer Bill's character. I was like
Oh,
excited
yeah.
to see her in there. What's that?
And the modal nodes.
Modal nodes.
That's right.
Gosh, what?
I mean, he is out nerding me so much tonight. It's so funny. I love it.
Oh gosh, I smell a crossover coming on.
I know we're gonna have to talk to
podcast
them.
crossover coming on.
Gosh, we're gonna have to talk to them. Brian, it's in the works. Okay. Tell your co-host it's in the works. We will start talking soon.
Yes. Yep. That'll be great. So do you think anybody survived, or do you think that was a big enough explosion it took out everybody?
I don't think everybody died. I think it was a bad explosion. Just like I don't think what's her face, Jennifer Beal, I don't think she died.
I don't see you getting that caliber of an actress.
Yeah. I agree. I think you're gonna have
maybe she did her flash dance moves and all the water came down and put out the fire.
Oh, somebody needs to make that happen. Oh, my wife's sweet.
Oh, you're still my number one geek, it says, everybody, for those who are listening.
I hope so. Anyway.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, so I don't think that she died. I think she's gonna survive. I think we're gonna find a lot of people got hurt very badly. Some of them died. Now I have a question for you.
Yeah.
And heck, maybe Brian can tell us this. The protocol droid, is that Anthony Daniels? Or at least the voice of Anthony Daniels? It sounded so much like Anthony Daniels.
I don't know.
And Anthony Daniels does so much Star Wars work. I wouldn't put it past him to do a little cameo in this. So
I didn't even pay attention to the credits.
Yeah, I didn't really watch through them, and he may not get credited for it too either. Yeah, right. Brian just said it wasn't in the credits, so
okay.
And because sometimes they have these uncredited parts and stuff. Like Mark Hamill does all kinds of voices throughout Star Wars, and they don't credit him for them either. And like we said earlier, Dave Filoni, he voices Paz Vizsla, and he doesn't get a credit for that either. So I'm just kind of wondering if Anthony jumped in on that and it was like, yeah, I'll do this,
Right.
Of course, then again, the way Anthony is, he probably would have been like, no, I want a credit. So maybe it wasn't him. I don't know. Sometimes he comes off that way. He can be a little stingy at times.
Well, I just want to get your opinion about that explosion to see, because I was like, holy cow, it looks huge. It probably took out everybody, kind of a thing. So,
no, I don't think it took everybody out.
It would be interesting if it becomes a rallying point for some people to rally. Yeah.
I think it will. I mean, it was just like a sleeper cell terrorist attack is what it was.
Right.
Exactly what it was.
Right.
And actually, I wouldn't even call it sleeper cell because the Pikes walked right in, So
yeah, they walked in, dropped off, walked right out. Oh, you left your ice cream maker.
Oops. Yes, Angie. Dave Filoni, or not Dave Filoni. Jon Favreau is the voice of the Mando that fought Din Djarin. That's Paz Vizsla. Yeah, I know that.
Okay.
You know that. Just like Jon Favreau was also the voice of the other Mando in Clone Wars. Now I can't think of his name. He's the one that says your warrior ways.
Okay.
I can't think of his name right now. Anyway.
That's all right.
Anyway.
So, all right. So back to the very end, we get to see Luke.
Yes.
And in the Jedi dojo, Luke and Grogu.
Well, first we have the moment of Luke and Ahsoka, and Luke's like, the Mandalorian was here. And she's like, yes, he was here. And he brought Grogu a gift. And Luke even had this look on his face like, oh, crap.
Yeah. Right.
I love the look on his
Yep.
face. It was
Uh-huh.
literally like, "Ah, crap. What are you going
Uh-huh.
through that for?" Yeah.
Yep.
So, so Luke presents both the, uh, Beskar, chainmail, which is
Mhm.
awesome, by the way. I still want a Mando helmet for him. I want him to have his own little Mando helmet. He would be so cute in it. Anyway, uh, but yeah, he presents him the chainmail, and
Mhm.
Grogu's like, "Oh,
Ooh,
Daddy brought me a
shiny,
present,
right?
shiny." Yeah, yeah. And Luke's like, "No, not yet." And then he pulls out Yoda's lightsaber
Oh,
and
right.
even ignites it. Oh,
Yeah.
such a good moment. Oh, gosh, I loved it.
Mhm.
I loved it so much.
Yep.
And then Luke sets it down and says, "Now you have to make a choice." And I'm
Mhm.
like, "No!"
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. Brian's got a comment here.
Okay.
Obi-Wan once said that only a Sith deals in absolutes. When Luke says Grogu has to choose either the lightsaber or the chainmail armor, isn't that an absolute? Why can't Grogu have both? Well, I
Mhm.
totally agree, actually,
Well,
unless it's all just a test to find out where Grogu's heart is. Oh,
here
great
here
comment, Brian.
here is what I think about it. This is what I wanted to bring up. Luke says something very interesting, and it made me rethink that whole situation. He says, you know, you what is it? Others will a lifetime. How does he say it?
Oh,
Others will live a lifetime.
before, before you get old, or
Right.
yeah.
And yeah, and I thought my brain went to it's almost like he's giving him permission. Why don't you go do this? You've got this attachment, and then when he's gone, you can come back and learn.
Ooh, I didn't really pick up on that.
So he can have both. That's what I thought was he was trying to encourage him, saying, look, this can wait, kind of a thing. Go if you really want to go live your life and learn and
I
grow
want
up.
him to
And
have both.
I want him to have both. I want to have both. I want you to have those adventures with Din Djarin with the Mandalorian, and
But I want
then
him to become a Jedi too.
at the
I
same time,
Yeah, yeah.
you'll still get Jedi stuff. I mean, come on. He
I
he
mean,
did the
we
whole
already
big bull thing.
what was the deal with the whole, introducing, the Mandalorian that was Jedi, the true Mandalore, all that stuff,
Oh, right, right.
right. So, I mean, it's almost like saying Grogu could become that, you know?
A Yoda
Uh-huh.
Mandalorian Jedi.
Right. Yeah. So he could be the next version of that. Um, could Grogu handle the dark saber? I don't know, but actually, I have a theory about the dark saber too.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, okay. So there we're left with the choice of what it's going to be. Now the question is where do you think we're headed? What's going to happen?
Okay, so there is a theory out there that at some
No, no,
point,
no, no, no. I want your theory. I love. All right. No, no, no. I'm sorry.
jeez,
I'm sorry. You talk about other theories and then you give
I
me your theory because I
I
love your
don't,
theories.
I honestly do not know where we're going in the next episode. I really, really don't. I
What?
I am so confused. I mean, obviously, we're going to have some kind of showdown with the Pikes, but
Okay.
I
Okay.
question whether we have enough muscle. Because I'm sorry, the mods they don't cut it. The mods don't cut the mustard here. I'm sorry. Them and
Well,
their colorful bikes. I just
they're gonna be outnumbered because this is the Alamo kind of a situation. That tension of we're outnumbered,
ooh,
and then
I like
how
how
are we
you
gonna
say
make
it's an
it?
Alamos. I like that. I like that. Oh, Brian likes the mods.
Yes, I
Sorry,
like
Brian.
the Star Wars Power Rangers. Thank you very much.
Okay, Brian. I have mixed emotions on the mods. That's all. They're too freaking bright for Tatooine. It just drives me crazy. But we talked previously. I do like the callback to the '60s British mod subculture. I thought that was a neat callback. So I do like that. I just think that they're not capable of handling a villain such as the Pikes and such. I don't think they're up to the task. But
You got to learn sometime.
oh yeah, Brian did say that. I agree. Yes. He said, I told you those colors will fade quickly on Tatooine. Yes, I loved your theory too. It was great. It was fantastic theory on that. So,
well, here's the dealio. So, I think they're going to be outnumbered, and we are going to see a. If you've seen Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, there's that whole scene where it looks like they're outnumbered. It looks like the castle keep has broken through and they're breaking in and they're going deeper and receding deeper for defensive measures. And then at the break of dawn, you see the riot of the Roram, come over the mountain. Here's Gandalf with all that,
Is that when we get the bounty hunters of The Empire Strikes Back? Is that when Boss, IG-88,
I think we're gonna
Dengar, Forlom, and Zuckuss show up?
Yeah, I think we're going to see a whole bunch of people show up, and then it's just going to be an incredible moment of dun, 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 here we are, and
I was expecting the Imperial butter crown to appear on your head.
All right. Yeah. So I think that's the moment we're going to get. How many more episodes do we have? Just one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Brian agrees with you. Brian agrees with you.
Thank you.
Okay, now, Brian, the only thing I got to say about that is if you listen to our last Boba Fett episode, good old Steven over there said that we wouldn't see Luke Skywalker in the Book of Boba Fett again.
That is true. That is true. Hey, look, I owned up to my goof, and I'll say it again.
I'm just saying, you don't have the best track record in calling things.
No, but I have a great time.
Although I do agree with you. I think we are going to get something similar to that. I think you're right.
If we got Bosk and Dengar, what?
Oh gosh. If we get Bosk, man, I am going to be so freaking happy. I've wanted that since episode 1.
Right.
And we keep seeing all these freaking Trandoshans everywhere. Why don't we get the biggest and most important Trandoshan of them all, Bosk? I don't understand.
I think it would be great if we saw all of them, plus if we saw Ahsoka.
Sorry, Angie, we're not going all the way back through that again. Angie said that, here, I'll show you. Rewind after the episode's over.
You were right, Mike.
I don't think that's what she meant, but okay. I'll take that.
That's what I thought. Okay. So if we've got then there's that big moment, we get more people come in and we see Ahsoka and Luke Skywalker and Grogu, because we've got to see Grogu in the chainmail.
Okay. Now wait a minute. I have a theory.
Okay. Sock it to me.
If Grogu and Luke and Ahsoka show up, I think they're bringing backup. I think they will show up in a particular ship, in a very important ship, and probably the most important ship of all Star Wars history, the Millennium freaking Falcon. And they will have Han Solo and Chewbacca with them.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool? Black Chrysanthemum and Chewbacca side by side.
Oh, man.
Watch them both ripping off arms of people.
And then after it's all done, Han goes, "Hey, you're the guy that froze me in carbonite."
We have come full circle. All right. Well, whew. Oh my goodness. Any last thoughts that you've got?
Okay, wait a minute. One more thing. Angie had this to say: if I see the Falcon, y'all come into my funeral because I will have a heart attack. I love it. I love it. Oh, and this is a great comment too. So when Han says, "Hey, you're the guy that froze me in carbonite," Boba replies, "No."
I know. Oh, that's great. Oh,
Oh
that's a
man,
good one.
too many good comments. And that's 3. You owe me, Junior. Great one, Brian. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
Oh goodness.
We got to
Great
wrap this up.
interactions.
We're at an hour and a half now.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So yeah,
Next week's gonna be great.
definitely tune in next week.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get us a special guest after Book of Boba Fett's over. I put out a message to somebody trying to get them back because I would love to get their retrospective of the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also putting the feelers out for another guest that we may do 2 retrospectives on this if I can get this other particular guest on. I don't want to say yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to say until we've got them confirmed. So,
Right.
but there is possibility that we're going to revisit Book of Boba Fett season 1 a couple times in the upcoming future. Let's see, this Saturday, you and I will be doing episodes on Cobra Kai. We have a special guest for that. Our friend John Keller is going to join us for that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to record our Star Wars Podcast Day episode. You definitely want to tune in for that one because we are going to be talking about Jango Fett.
Yeah.
With all this,
Mike's going to be schooling me.
Well, you watched and read the same stuff I did, so we're going to dive into Jango's origin. Granted, technically, it's not canon right now. It's in my head canon though.
Right.
So yeah, so you definitely want to tune in for that because we want to talk about Jango. I think Jango deserves a little love right now. So yeah, so that's what we got going on this weekend.
Yep. Woo. Lots happening. There's a lot going on. So
busy.
It is. All right. Well, with that, hey everybody, thanks for joining us. Thanks for the interactions. That has been fun. Getting the everybody participating in the chat and stuff. Thank you so much.
Did Steven just freeze up?
Did I just freeze up?
Yeah, just for a second there.
Oh, okay.
I was like, we went the whole episode. You didn't freeze up at all.
Right, well, I guess we're done.
Anyway, finish your thought.
No, I was just saying, everybody, thanks for being in the chats. It's been great to interact with everybody. We've had a good time.
Tonight was a blast too.
Yeah,
a lot of great interactions.
Yeah,
so much fun.
Yep. So I just want to say thanks, everybody. And Mike, I'm going to leave it to you to sign us out.
All right. Well, with that said, like I always say, over and out, and may the Force be with you. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,